is irishoorah. This is my first time making a whisper or a soft speaking video. So I thought I'd start a little adventure with this. It's hard to see, I'm sorry. It is The Voyage of the Great Titanic from the Dear America series. It's the diary of Margaret and Brady. I thought I'd read the epilogue. It's sort of my favorite part. I don't know why. And I love how these are made. I love how the pages are made to look and feel old. It's just wonderful. So, no, I'm not going to show my face. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I just think it kind of ruins the whole effect. So here we go. The epilogue. Margaret Ann Brady never once discussed her voyage on the Titanic in public, and also rarely mentioned the disaster in private. Throughout her life, she felt that the memories of those tragically lost were best served by respectful silence. She also never completely forgave herself for surviving the tragedy. She did permit William to read her diary, and then sent it on to Sister Catherine, who later returned it for safekeeping. Margaret completed her high school education in Boston, and then accepted a scholarship to Wellesley College. Margaret and Sister Catherine never lost touch, and on 2 occasions Sister Catherine was actually persuaded to come to visit Margaret in the States. The only time Margaret ever returned to England was for her beloved mentor's funeral in 1962. Margaret also kept up a regular correspondence with Nora, who later emigrated to the United States. With her new husband when she was 19. They had a joyous reunion, and Nora ended up settling in nearby Pawtucket, Rhode Island. After their parting in New York, Margaret and Mrs. Carstairs exchanged letters a couple of times, but never saw each other again. When the First World War broke out in 1914, William immediately volunteered to fight for his new country. He served valiantly until he was seriously wounded during a trench battle. Margaret dropped out of college in order to devote her time to nursing him back to health and working to support them. Although William ultimately recovered and got a job with the Boston Police Department, Margaret never returned to college. She did, however, continue reading voraciously. In 1923, Margaret met a young history teacher named Stanley Ryan at a bookstore in Cambridge. And for anyone who doesn't know the story, William is not Margaret's husband. He is, in fact, her brother. Just so we're clear on where he stands against Stanley. Okay. Stanley at a bookstore in Cambridge. They were married the following June and spent the next 44 years laughing and arguing together. They had 3 children, Dorothy, Harriet, and Robert. And again, for anyone who does not know the story, Robert was an Irish steward who served on the Titanic, and Margaret became very much attached to him and very close to him, and he died, unfortunately, during the tragedy. Margaret devoted many long hours to volunteer work, helping disadvantaged youngsters in the Boston area, and she later ended up heading a halfway house for unwed mothers until her retirement in 1965. During her life, Margaret occasionally boarded planes and regularly took trains, but she refused to set foot on another boat ever again. Despite her many decades in America, she never lost her British accent, but, to her surprise, she became extremely fond of coffee. She died peacefully in her sleep in 1994 at the age of 95. And I will definitely be making more videos. This one was more or less just a sound check to make sure everything was working correctly. Also, for anyone who wants to, make a whisper video or a soft speaking video, I've discovered you don't have to go out and buy a microphone. All you have to do is plug your headphones into the microphone socket of your computer, and your headphones will work as a microphone, which is what I'm doing right now. That's all. Thank you all for watching. Please rate and comment. Thank you. Good night.